Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I want to give you some hacks to suppress a cough or a sneeze during dangerous situations. But before we do that, if you're interested in survival courses in Belgium, there will be a link to my website, survivaltrainingbelgië.be, and also to my book called Bloody Crosses. It's in Dutch, detective, so if you're interested, take a look. Alright, sometimes you don't want to cough or sneeze, and that can be very annoying in life or death situations. And I'm not only talking about situations where you can transmit a disease, like during the COVID. If you if since COVID, if anyone coughs around you directly, all heads will be pointed at you. Or you don't want your, or you have a little bit of the flu and you don't want to sneeze or cough onto somebody. So those are also helpful tips. But these are more tips that you also can use in case you are hiding from a terrorist, spree killer, a kidnapper, or a dangerous person. You're hiding from an aggressor or dangerous person is what I'm trying to say. So, what are things that you can do to suppress? Because I hate it in the movies when they are hiding and suddenly or hatching and the bad guy knows there they are. Well, I'm going to teach you how to avoid these things. First of all, we're going to start with the sneezing because that's the most stereotypical one. And a way to stop sneezing is, first of all, don't look into light. Because if we all know, if we have that feeling that we're going to sneeze, then we look into the light, it will help you sneeze. So close your eyes, and that's a first thing that will can prevent from sneezing. Second thing, if you feel it coming up, there is a trick that you can do is you take a finger and you press it on your upper lip like this, and that stops you from sneezing. I think it's more has more to do with the pain of pressing against your upper lip that is close to this area, that will do something with your head that you will not want to sneeze anymore, but it sometimes helps. And there is also, of course, a thing because if you're going to sneeze, it's usually because something is irritating in the nose. It can be dust, stuffy air, cold, dry air, and you have to hold your your nose that you don't let those things run around your nose and tickle everything. The same thing goes with the hairs. If you got one of those nose hairs that they are hanging out, don't pull them out or pull them out before you go anywhere, because the moment you pull one out or you tickle it, you will have to sneeze. At least I have to do. I don't know if it's just me, but that's something that always makes me sneeze when I involuntarily touch some nose hairs or not. Yeah, that's something that happens. So those are ways to stop the sneezing. What about coughing? Well, there are certain things you can do preventively. That is more if you're sick, you have a flu, cough from being sick. What you can do is take some cough drops, um, a spoonful of honey to moisturize the throat. You can gargle with salt water. You can stay hydrated. Is also very important because the dry feeling is it can also be held by having a dry throat, and that can be happen because you don't have enough fluids inside of you. Uh, or in cases where you have to hide, there are certain things you can do, and that is perhaps chew gum. I know this might sound weird, but chewing gum will activate the saliva, and that will moisturize your throat. So chewing a gum softly, by the way, can help you in that situation. Another thing you can do is uh, breathing resistance. That is not really suppressing a cough, but it's a way to minimize a cough. And what you can do is two things you can do. First of all, create resistance from the cough. So you can take your fist, make a very small hole, and that is much more silent than that will help you at least if they are not close by. Another thing you can do is doing the same with the lip. Put your lips on each other, relax, and then press them together, and that way you can cough in small takes, and it is also much more silent. Another thing you can do is hold your breath and then start breathing in very, very short breaths when you start to feel that you have to cough. And that will prevent from having the dry throat tickling you even more. What you also can do is wait, because these were several things. Um, is avoiding the things that will make you cough. What are these things? Stress. Well, in case that you are hiding from a dangerous person, yeah, stress is a little bit annoying. But if you try to stay calm, accept everything, the fate that will happen, because there's nothing more that you can do than hide, accept it, and that will help you get a little bit less stress. Or do some meditation, breathing instead, and that will perhaps help you cough. I would say very short breathing, because otherwise you will get a dry throat. Don't talk too much, because yeah, talking is noise, and talking will also help the dry throat tickle. Um, don't breathe in cold and dry air. What you can do against this is try to heat up the air a little bit. So you can do this by breathing very slowly or in very short breaths. That the air that gets into your throat and your lungs will be very, not very, but at least warmer than if you breathe in and tickle your throat. Um, avoid avoid things that can activate a cough, like smoke, dust, pollen if you're allergic, and stuffy air and that kind of stuff. So if you are in a place where you hide and it's very dusty, like under a pile of mattresses or whatever, I don't know why you would hide beneath that. But what you can perhaps do is take your shirt and put it, cover your mouth and your face. That way you can filter out some of the dusty particles that you will create by the place where you're hiding. And it can also help if you're going to cough, that it will be a little bit more suppressed. It can also help. So these were some tips to stop or to avoid coughing and sneezing during a dangerous situation. Yeah, I know it might sound stupid, but yeah, if it can save your life in a moment or help somebody else not get sick, uh, you're welcome. If you know any other tips, please let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video.